Hello everyone, welcome back to the best channel on the internet, Tyson Gaylord Incorporated here. Today we're going to be talking about William Lane Craig and his shitty argument, the Kalam cosmological argument, the worst existence for the belief in God, the worst argument for the existence of God, the cosmological argument. So I'm going to be talking about the Kalam cosmological argument,
not the cosmological argument,
which I guess is like the OG argument, which was put forth in 1642 by Christopher Columbus. Don't fact check me on that. But in this video, we're going to be talking about the Kalam cosmological argument, which is, I guess, different from the OG version. I guess it's like the most recent, up-to-date version of the cosmological argument, which was put forth by none other than William Lane Craig, who is going to be the main culprit of this video. I'm going to destroy him, absolutely destroy him with facts and logic. He's not going to be able to walk after this video is done. I'm going to absolutely put him in his grave. Me, Tyson Gaylord, the most intelligent person who has ever existed in the history of this planet. So yeah, obviously the title and the thumbnail, I was just kidding. William Lane Craig, he's not actually that stupid. I mean, obviously he's inferior to me, a superior being. I am superior to most humans. I'm actually not human. I'm actually an alien. But yeah. Okay, so let's get into the Kalam cosmological argument. Okay, so let me first lay out the arguments for you lovely people. So, premise 1, everything that begins to exist has a cause. Premise 2, the universe began to exist. Premise 3 / conclusion. Therefore, the universe had a cause. So that's the argument, and let's get straight into the critique. So my first critique of this argument is that it is not even an argument for God's existence. Allow me to explain. So, assuming that the argument is successful, all it does is conclude that the universe had a first cause.
Actually, it's not necessarily a first cause, it just says that the universe had a cause.
It does not prove that that cause was God, or that it was Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. It doesn't prove any of that. All it does is prove that the universe had a cause. So that cause could have been anything. It could have been Satan, it could have been Vishnu, it could have been Thor, it could have been cosmic SpongeBob SquarePants, it could have been even like some natural process or some like mechanical process that just naturally occurs in nature. It doesn't have to be like a being with a mind or whatever, because like that's all the argument proves. I mean, I guess this isn't really a critique of the argument. Like, the argument could be successful, but I'm just saying it doesn't prove, because a lot of people use this argument to prove definitively that God exists, when in reality, it doesn't actually do that. All it does is prove that the universe had a cause. That cause doesn't necessarily have to be God. I mean, I guess you could say that this argument does, like, point to there being a God. It can, like, point you in the general direction, like maybe it increases the probability of there being a God. I don't know, but all I'm saying is that it just doesn't, this argument on its own does not definitively prove that there must be a God. Because I'm sure there's some like Christians out there who would say that this is the case, like, oh, this is an argument for God's existence, when in reality it's like, that conclusion is like kind of smuggled in. Like, all it says, like, if you're going to say that everything begins to exist as a cause, the universe began to exist, therefore the universe was caused by God. It's like that argument does not follow from the preceding premises. The only correct conclusion you could draw is like, oh, that the universe did have a cause. That would be a valid argument, but you can't say that the cause is God, because that you would need further argumentation for that. But anywho, that's my first critique of the argument, so let's go on to the next critique. So my next critique is of the second premise, which is that the universe began to exist. So I would just say that this is just blatantly wrong. Like, this is not a known fact in cosmology. Like, I'm not a cosmologist, I'm just a random guy, but according to my diligent research, aka asking ChatGPT, this is just blatantly wrong. It's like, cosmologists do not know whether the universe had a beginning or not. Like, this is not a settled fact in cosmology. It is my understanding that cosmologists do not know whether or not the universe had a beginning. Like, because like a lot of people say that the Big Bang is like the beginning of the universe. Like, I've heard many Christians and other religious people online say that the Big Bang says that the universe had a beginning, and that beginning was 13.8 billion years ago. That's what I've heard a lot of Christians say. But this is just a misconception about the Big Bang Theory. Like, the Big Bang Theory, all it says is that the universe has been expanding from a hot, dense state 13.8 billion years ago. Like, what happened before that point, we don't know. That's still a mystery, but it's like you could maybe say that the universe as we know it began 13.8 billion years ago, in the sense that if there was a universe that existed before the Big Bang, obviously we don't know what that universe looks like, so it's kind of foreign to us. So maybe you could say that the Big Bang was the start of the universe as we know it, but to say that that was like the start of everything, it's like we just don't have enough knowledge. I say we, it's like as if I had anything to do with this, but like according to most cosmologists, the universe, except cosmologists who are like Christian and have a bias or whatever, besides those, like the vast majority of cosmologists say that we do not know what happened before the Big Bang. So that's just wrong. Another thing I wanted to mention is that I see a lot of comments online about, like, a lot of the same brain-dead Christians say about how
atheists believe that the universe just popped into existence out of nothing.
it's like I see so many of these comments everywhere, and it's really freaking annoying, man. Because, like, this is just a blatant straw man of the atheist position. Like, the atheist position, all atheism entails is that they don't believe that God exists. They don't make any claims about the origins of the universe. I mean, I'm sure there are some atheists who do claim to know about the origins of the universe, but just because you're an atheist, that doesn't necessarily mean that you make a claim about the origin of the universe. That's a whole separate thing. If there even was an origin, because like a lot of Christians or religious people assume that the universe had to have an origin, when it's completely possible that the universe just goes back infinitely. Like, maybe it's the case that the universe has just always existed eternally. It's like, this is like so stupid because people believe in God, and like that God is just this eternal, infinite being that has always existed. And then they point to atheists and say that, oh, atheists believe that the universe just popped into existence out of nothing. It's like, maybe that's not what they believe. It's like, maybe they also believe that the universe is eternal, in the same way that you believe that God is eternal. It's like, why can God be eternal but not the universe? That's like called a special pleading fallacy. Like, you say that God can be the only eternal thing, when in reality it's like you have no reason to believe that. Like, why can God be eternal but not the universe? I don't think they have a reason. Also, I think it's completely hilarious how a lot of these Christians who say, oh, the universe, atheists believe that the universe just popped into existence out of nothing. It's like, don't they literally? Like, atheists, I would assume that most atheists don't believe that the universe just randomly popped into existence out of nothing. I don't think that's a coherent position. I don't think anyone thinks that something can come from nothing. That's ridiculous. Except Christian people literally believe that the universe just popped into existence out of nothing, because I'm not saying all Christians believe this, but I'm pretty sure that most Christians believe in the material world. Like, most Christians think that there is this world that exists that's like made of stuff or whatever. So like stuff exists. But it's like, where did God get all of this stuff to make the universe? Like, they literally critique atheists. They say, oh, atheists believe that something just came from nothing. When it's like, okay, don't you believe the same thing? It's like, where did God get all this material from? Did he just take a magical shit and poof, the universe popped into existence? Or did he just wave his magic wand and poof, all this stuff just popped into existence? It's like, how are you going to critique atheists that, oh,
They think the universe just popped into existence out of nothing.
it's like, you literally believe the same thing, you idiot. Unless you're like a idealist, like some people are like Christian idealist or whatever, but if you're not, if you're just like a Christian who believes in the material world, it's like, where did all this material come from? It's like, either way, it's ridiculous. Like, if you're an atheist and you believe that everything just popped into existence out of nothing, or you're a Christian and you think God just popped everything into existence from nothing, it's like, either position I think is ridiculous. I don't think that makes sense. I think that it's more likely that the universe has just always existed, like, eternally or whatever. Maybe not time and space. Like, I think most cosmologists, they don't think that time and space have always existed. Like, I think time and space are emergent properties from a more fundamental nature or whatever. Like, I think, like, some cosmologists think that quantum mechanics is just, like, at the base of reality. I don't even know what that even freaking means, like, but that's just what I've heard. Like, space and time are like emergent properties from quantum mechanics. So like, quantum mechanics has always existed, but not necessarily like time and space. Like, this is what's weird, because like a lot of people say that what was before the Big Bang, but it's like, maybe that's just not a sensible question to ask. It's like, I've heard it's like asking what's north of the North Pole. It's like, that just doesn't make any sense, because the North Pole is just the most north point. There is nothing beyond the North Pole. There is no north further beyond the North Pole. It's like saying what was before the universe. Like, maybe, like, there was a first moment of time. There was no before the first moment of the time, because that was just the first moment. And I feel like that's what most cosmologists, they think that space and time break down at the Big Bang, I believe. But yeah, But anywho, let's go on to the third critique. So the third critique of this argument is of the first premise, which is that everything that begins to exist has a cause. So I think that this is the least controversial of the premises, all two of the premises. This is the least controversial one, I believe, because I feel like it's pretty intuitive. It's like things just don't pop into existence for no reason. Like there's always a reason why things begin to exist. Like when you look at a house, you don't assume that the house just popped into existence out of nothing. It seems like there had to be some cause behind why that house exists, which is that somebody built the house. Somebody built the house, and that's what caused the house to exist. Like there's always a cause for things that begin to exist. I think I intuitively agree with this premise. Like my intuition says that this premise is correct. But one thing I would add is that, like I said before with quantum mechanics, like quantum mechanics throws a wrench in the works. Quantum mechanics undermines our everyday intuitions about the world because, well, let me explain what quantum mechanics is first. So if you don't know what quantum mechanics is, let me give a brief explanation. Quantum mechanics is the branch of physics that studies the behavior of very small particles like atoms, electrons, protons, etc. Like there's the macroscopic world, like people, cars, trees, telephone poles, like big things. That's like the macroscopic world. Like think of that as like classical mechanics. Like classical mechanics describes the macroscopic world, like big shit. And then quantum mechanics describes the behavior of like small shit, because particles behave a lot different than we expect them to do. Because like obviously our everyday experience is the macroscopic world. Like we're completely unaware of the microscopic world that's like going on right beneath our feet. And we assume that the microscopic world acts in the same way that the macroscopic world does, when in reality it's like, it's actually not the case at all. Like quantum mechanics is weird because it doesn't act in the same deterministic way that the macroscopic world does. I don't know much about quantum mechanics, but my understanding of it is that sometimes like particles just be popping in and out of existence, like without a cause. Like some things seemingly just begin to exist without cause, which obviously would undermine the first premise, because the first premise says that everything that begins to exist has a cause, when in reality it's like, maybe that's not the case, because quantum mechanics might throw a wrench in the mix there. But quantum mechanics doesn't necessarily debunk this first premise, because it is possible. There are interpretations of quantum mechanics that are not probabilistic or random or whatever. Like there's some interpretations that are still deterministic, like the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. And I think there's another one that's also deterministic. I don't want to talk about all that shit. That's boring as fuck. But the point is, quantum mechanics could potentially undermine the first premise. So I thought that was a critique that I should throw out there. Could be a good critique, could be bad, who knows. That's just another critique I have of this argument. So let's go on to the next critique. So the next critique I have is, this critique is not necessarily a critique of the argument. It's more a critique of like against certain religious individuals, such as William Lane Craig, who use this argument, the Kalam cosmological argument, to prove the existence of a God that gives us free will. Because a lot of people who use this argument, they presumably believe in a God who gives us libertarian free will. If you don't know what libertarian free will is, let me give a brief explanation. So, libertarian free will is the idea that when faced with a choice between two options, so like let's say you're at the ice cream shop and you're trying to choose between chocolate and vanilla ice cream. This is like a choice that you can make. And libertarian free will says that there's a genuine possibility that you could either choose chocolate or vanilla. Like, you can choose either one. And this is contrary to the idea of determinism. Determinism says that, no, like, there is no chance that you can choose one or the other. It's like, there's a 100% chance that you will choose chocolate, or a 0% chance. There is no such thing as like, oh, there's a 50-50 chance, like, oh, I could choose chocolate or vanilla. It's like, no. Determinism says, like, you're either gonna choose chocolate or not. And I guess I should explain determinism as well. Determinism is the idea that everything in the universe is the inevitable result of prior causes. So whenever you seemingly make choices, like you're not actually making a choice, you're just, the reason you choose chocolate is because you have a preference for chocolate, or because whatever, like there has to be like some cause, something that caused you to choose chocolate. The best way to think about determinism is like there's a domino effect of like the universe. So like first the Big Bang happened, and then since that point, like everything in the universe has just been like one giant cosmic domino effect. Like the reason why you made the decision to go with chocolate over vanilla it can all be traced back to the Big Bang. And obviously, you didn't have control over the Big Bang. Like, everything since that point has been inevitable. Just a series of, like, cause and effects. And there is no room for, like, genuine choice or, like, libertarian free will. So, the reason I bring this up is because this argument, the first premise of this argument, it sounds a lot like determinism, because determinism says that everything in the universe has a cause behind it. So it's like very similar. It's not exact because it says everything that begins to exist has a cause, not like that everything has a cause, because that's what determinism says. Determinism says that everything has a cause, but yeah. So like this argument, if this argument is successful, it kind of undermines a lot of these religious people. Like a lot of religious people use this argument to prove that there is a God who gives us free will, but this argument also undermines free will. So it's like, you're like shooting yourself in the foot with this argument. Like maybe this argument is successful in proving that God exists, but it also undermines the free will that you have. So again, this is not really, it's not a direct critique of the argument. It's more of like a critique of people who use this argument to prove their worldview, but anywho. So the first thing that people are probably going to try to say is that the argument says that everything that begins to exist has a cause. And they would say that your choices don't begin to exist. I guess that maybe that's something that they would say. And I would just disagree. Like, I think that your choices, in a sense, do, like, begin to exist. Like, at one point, your decision to choose chocolate ice cream didn't exist. It didn't exist in this moment in time. And then in another moment in time, it began to exist. Like, it didn't exist at one point, and then it, like, came into existence almost. I know it's kind of weird to say that it came into existence like a choice, but like I think that's a totally fair thing to say, because let's break down what a choice is. A choice is like a process of like thinking and deliberating. So obviously when you make a choice to go with chocolate instead of vanilla, that choice, or another way of saying it, is that process of thinking. Obviously it occurs in a certain point in time. Well, it occurs across multiple points in time. So like whenever you first begin the process of making that choice, I think it's completely fair to say that that choice began to exist. That process of thinking and deliberating and choosing began to exist. Like one way you could shimmy your way out of this is by saying that your choices exist outside of time or something, or they're like cemented outside of time or whatever. But I don't think that makes any sense, because like obviously a choice is a process of thinking. It's like, that's just what a choice is. Unless you're going to reinvent what our common understanding of what a choice is. Like I think it is something that begins to exist. And obviously if choices begin to exist, then that would mean that they had a cause. And if your choices had a cause behind them, then that would just make them determined. And that would undermine libertarian free will, because libertarian free will is not compatible with determinism, or the idea that everything has a cause behind it. So that's my critique. That's another critique I have. Again, not necessarily of the argument, but that's just another critique I have of whatever people's worldviews. So let's go on to the last critique. So the last critique I have of this argument is that, how did God create the universe without space and time? So this argument, obviously the conclusion of this argument is that God created the universe, even though I already said that that's not even what the argument concludes, but let's just pretend that that's the conclusion of the argument. God caused the universe to be. He created the universe. He is the cause behind the universe's existence. That's what the argument says or concludes. But I think this is, like, I don't understand how God, because God is described as like being some being. He's like a being with a mind. And it's like, how did God create anything without time and space? Because like I said before, it's like, in order to make a choice, like God chose to create the universe, right? But it's like, how did he choose to create the universe when there was no time? Like, that doesn't really make any sense. Because like choosing is a process that occurs across time. So to say that he chose to make the universe before there was time, that doesn't even make any sense. Let alone without space. It's like, how do you do anything without space? Like a lot of people try to cop out of this by saying, oh, God is like an immaterial being. He doesn't exist on the material plane that humans do or whatever. But I don't think this response works, because like even if he's material, it's like he still needs time and space. Like I'm very dubious. I'm very suspicious of the word immaterial. Like what does that even mean? Like I don't even know what the word material means, like let alone immaterial. Like what does that even mean? It's like, if something is immaterial, that just seems like nothing to me. Like what does the soul even do in the real world? Like does it interact with the material world? Like if you're gonna say that God is this immaterial being, how did he create a material world? How can you Because like immaterial things, to me, they just sound like they don't interfere with the material world. It's like a different plane of existence. There's like the material world, and then there's the immaterial world. It's like, how do those, that's like one problem that a lot of atheist people bring up. It's like, how does, if we do have these material souls, how do they, I mean immaterial souls, if we do have these immaterial souls, how do they interact with the material world? Because it's pretty obvious that the brain has something to do with our experience. Like there's so many correlations. Like when you experience this emotion, this part of the brain lights up, or like if you experience this emotion, this part of the brain lights up, or whatever. It's like clearly something's going on with the brain or whatever. It can't just only be the soul. It's like, what role does the soul play in all this? But anyhow, I'm getting off topic, but I don't think that saying that God is immaterial, like that doesn't, there's still the problem of like, how did he create anything without time and space? Like that's just incomprehensible. Like one mistake that a lot of people make when thinking about like what happened, quote unquote, before the Big Bang. Like when people try to imagine what nothing is, like nothingness, like what even is nothing? Like when most people picture nothing in their brains, they think of like empty black space, like the void of space, like just empty blackness or whatever. That's what most people conceptualize in their brains when they try to imagine what nothing is. But this is incorrect. Like this is nothing. A lot of people seem to think that space and time have just always existed. Like that's what I used to think. I used to think that
The Big Bang was like an explosion.
it was like a explosion in like a pre-existing space-time fabric or whatever. Like time just extended infinitely into the past, and so did space. Has just always been there infinitely or whatever. But like this is just wrong, because a lot of people don't realize that space and time itself are like physical things or whatever. And they haven't always existed. Like a lot of cosmologists, like I said, they don't think that space and time are fundamental. They are emergent from more fundamental reality, I think. I don't know about that. I'm not a cosmologist. This is just my understanding, okay? But yeah, it's like it's not possible to picture nothing. Like you can't imagine what nothing is, because like nothing is just, to me, is just the absence of properties. So it's literally impossible to imagine nothing. Like if you're trying to imagine it, it's like you should just give up, because it's literally impossible. You can't imagine what nothing looks like, because it doesn't look like anything. It's like a good analogy is like blind people. A lot of people ask, what do blind people see? It's like if you've been blind from birth, you have no sense data to refer to. It's like blind people don't see anything. Like a lot of people assume that blind people just see like black nothingness. Like they just see black or whatever. But that's not true. It's like blind people, a good way to think about it is like, what do you see out of your elbow? It's like you don't see anything out of your elbow. You see nothing out of your elbow. That's like a nonsensical question. It's like, what does nothing look like? It just looks like nothing. It's like it's just nothing. Nothing is nothing. It's the absence of something. And like space and time itself are something. So it's like, how are you going to say that God created the universe when, like, if there is no space and time, like, it just seems like nothing. It's like, what could exist if there is no space and time? It's like, I'm not saying that there can't be anything that exists. Like, maybe it is the case that there is this God who's just beyond human comprehension or whatever. Like, I think that's totally a possibility. Like, maybe humans are just limited in, like, what we can understand. Like, just because we can't understand what exists beyond space and time, that doesn't mean that there isn't anything. Because I don't think it's sensible to say that the universe just popped into existence out of nothing. That just seems kind of weird. I mean, maybe that's a possibility. I think anything's possible, but I think whatever happened, quote unquote, before the Big Bang, or like whatever exists on a fundamental level, like whether it be God or quantum mechanics, I don't think it's fundamentally knowable or understandable by humans. I think it's totally possible that whatever exists at the most fundamental level of the universe or whatever is just unknowable. Which is why I find it so ridiculous. Like so many people online, they say, oh, I believe in God, but it's like, how can you believe in something if you don't even understand what that thing is? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I could just make up something right now, like, oh, splurple. Like, what is splurple? Like, I could say, I believe in splurple, but if you ask me to describe what it is, like, I don't know what that is. Like, I just made it up. Like, that's what God is. Like, whenever people say, oh, I believe in God, or like, oh, how did the universe come into existence? Oh, God did it. It's like, how did he make the world? Oh, he just did it. It's like, you're just agnostic. It's like so many people who say they believe in God. Like, I think that the only reasonable position is agnosticism, because like to pretend like you know anything is just ridiculous. Like saying God did it, that doesn't answer any questions. Like it's still a mystery. It's like, if you're going to say that God is a timeless, spaceless being, it's like, you can't even imagine that, because humans are limited in our knowledge. Like you can't imagine anything beyond time and space, I don't think. So like to say you believe in God is just a ridiculous statement. You don't even know what you believe in. You can't believe in something if you don't know what it is you believe in. Okay, so I'll finish the video with this thought.
With this thought, you fucking retard.
So like there's the famous question of like, why is there something rather than nothing? I saw this one video one time where this guy, he made a very interesting point, which is that he tried to argue that there's like two types of nothing. Like I said before, there's like, nothing can be defined as like the absence of properties. That's like one way you can define nothing. But there's also another way, another potential way, which is that nothing is also like the complete totality of properties. Like if something has every single property, then it can't be distinguished from other things because it has every single property. Like I'm looking at this tree right now, like in order to define what this tree is, like you can list its properties, like, oh, it's 10 feet tall and it has green leaves and it's like this specific shape. Like you could describe it by its properties. Like that's how we define things. We assign it properties. And if something has no properties, then it's nothing. But if something has every single property, like what if a tree had like, it was just what if it was just everything? It had every single property imaginable. Then you wouldn't even be able to distinguish, like what even is it? It's just everything. But like you could also just say it's like nothing. Like that's another way you could say nothing. Like nothing can be the absence, the complete absence of all properties. But it can also be like the complete totality of properties, if that makes any sense. So it's like the world that we see is like the in-between, like the something, the quote-unquote something that we are experiencing is really just like nothing. It's like we're like in between the two states of nothingness. I don't know if that made any sense, but that's like one interesting way. Because like to me, like it seems more likely that nothing would exist, because it seems weird that something exists at all. Like that's a weird thing. And another thing that religious people, like a lot of people, I've heard religious people say before that, oh, atheists can't explain why there is something rather than nothing. But God can explain that, when it's like, that's completely ridiculous. It's like just saying that, okay, why is there something rather than nothing? Oh, because of God. But it's like, that doesn't answer the question. That just raises a whole nother question, because it's like, okay, why is there something? God. Rather than nothing. It's like it doesn't answer the question, it just raises the question again. But anywho, so to me it just seems like way more likely that there would be nothing. I don't know, like I guess it's just like the simplicity of it, like the simplicity of there just being nothing. That just seems more likely. Like it seems unlikely that a complex world would even exist at all. It seems like more likely that nothing would exist, but maybe that intuition is wrong. Like I have no justification for that intuition, but that's just something that I think most people would intuitively agree. It does seem more likely that nothing would exist, because it seems like there always has to be a cause for why something exists, but there can't just be an infinite regress of causes. That seems unlikely. I mean, maybe that is possible. Maybe there just is an infinite regress of causes of like, oh, why does the universe exist? Oh, because of God. Why does that God exist? Oh, because of another God. And there's just like an infinite regress of gods, but whatever. The point is, that's why this whole idea of like nothing being like
The only thing that exists.
I feel like that's a really convincing explanation. Because like my intuition says that it's more likely that nothing exists, but maybe nothing does exist. And like all of the something, quote unquote something that we perceive is really just nothing, because it's like in between the two states of nothing or whatever. But yeah, I just thought I should mention that, because that's an interesting idea. So okay, that's gonna be the end of the video, so make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, tune in for next week's video, and I love you all. Just kidding, I hate you fuckers.